All right, fourth T20I between India and New Zealand. India only two T20I away from the T20 World Cup. Now, a lot of questions have already been answered. India is firing as a unit. This is one of the strongest and the most dominant sides when it comes to T20Is that we have seen. But at the same time, are there still a few questions up in the air? Number one is Sanju Samson. He's had three bad games, but could very well turn it around if management decides to trust him. The other part is Washington Sundar's injury. Will he be able to come back in time for the T20 World Cup? And the third is we haven't seen Hardik Pandya so far. Hardik Pandya is an absolutely clutch player. He's a superstar. Without him, it's the Indian squad is incomplete, but at the same time, there's always a little bit of a worry of whether or not someone will come back right into form or not. So these are the questions that we'll be discussing today. Bharat Ramraj joins us from Vishakhapatnam. He's covering the game from on ground. Shomik joins us, and so does Ashok Nambudiri. Bharat, I'll go over to you first. What's the mood like in Vishakhapatnam? How's the crowd turnout? Because come on, you can't, every time there's an India game, the crowd will always show up.
Some auto driver is asking me whether I want to go somewhere. That is why I was telling him to go. Anyway, coming back to the moods, yes, the crowd is a little less, I would say today, little less compared to the India versus South Africa ODI when Kohli and Rohit Sharma were playing. That tells you something about the star power. Still, there is a sizable crowd. You will get, I think, pretty much a full house today because that is what you expect with T20I. I think that is the key reason why the boards end up playing 5 T20Is because the fans come out in droves and there will be a full house. So expect a full house, but I would still say compared to the kind of mood that I saw for the India versus South Africa ODI here in Vizag, it's a little less. I think that is because of Kohli and Rohit Sharma star power. And I could see even today, a lot of them were wearing Virat Kohli jerseys and a few of them Rohit Sharma jerseys. And I would even tell maybe there were two Hardik Pandya jerseys, maybe a couple of Abhishek Sharma jerseys, and one Surya Kumar jersey. Rest of them were Virat Kohli or a little bit of Rohit Sharma. That tells you something about their star power.
Ashok, this is quite interesting, the point that Bharat is bringing up, because this is T20. This is the most popular format. This is the format that people, is convenient for people. It lasts only 4 hours. You can come in the evening. You don't have to miss work for it. But at the same time, it's interesting that when a Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma are in your team, the kind of difference that it makes to the crowd turnout, it's interesting. What are your thoughts on it?
For sure. I think, both of them, both Rohit and Virat have been stalwarts for India for a long, long time. They're still playing one format. But obviously, they are crowd pullers of mammoth proportions. And it is no surprise that, whoever they're playing for, the crowds will come to watch them. In fact, that particular visual, yes, the one that you're just showing on the screen now, I was trying to see how many 45s and how many 18s are there, and if there is anything which is apart from that. I think Bharat did mention Hardik Pandya, a couple of them. But look, at the end of the day, I think, it's been proven beyond doubt, whether it is the Indian Premier League, whether it is the smaller regional leagues, that it is your heroes that finally command your audience loyalty and audience traction in terms of coming in for matches like this. So I think it's no surprise at all to my mind.
Coming back to a bit of a serious discussion, Shomik, it always becomes serious when I start asking you questions. But Sanju Samson, we discussed about this in the morning, and you said that you do think that the management will give him these last couple of matches, and then maybe a few more in the World Cup to see how he performs. At this point, he somewhat proved himself, but his dip in form is inconvenient for the Indian team.
It's not the dipping form, Gargi. The fact of the matter is that Sanju Samson, if you look at it, and his average in T20 cricket will also attest that 24 average is around 24, that he is inconsistent. Now, there are two theories as regards this inconsistency. And these are coming from two very renowned coaches. One is W.V. Raman. W.V. Raman is of the idea that he needs to adjust his bat speed according to the pace of the ball. And like he gave the example of driving a car, that you cannot drive a car at the same gear when you are driving in a crowded road, so a crowded street. So you have to change, you have to adjust. So he again today I spoke to Zubin Barucha. He mother hen him at the IPL, and Zubin Barucha. Nobody knows Sanju Samson better than Zubin Barucha as far as Sanju's cricket is concerned. And according to Zubin Barucha, there are no technical problems. There could be a mental problem. I mean, there could be a mental aspect to it. One is that, see, Sanju Samson has come in place of Shubman Gill. It is a heavy cross to bear, because until a couple of months ago, Shubman Gill was your vice captain and he was going to the World Cup. Then the selectors decided that Shubman Gill is not fitting into the scheme of things and he will be dropped, and Sanju Samson came. So, like when you saw Shubman Gill return to the T20 setup before the Asia Cup. And after that, if you see the pattern, I mean, it is always the back of your mind whom I am replacing at the top. That is one thing. And also Sanju Samson, the way his mental makeup is, he is not like Virat Kohli. He is not like Virat Kohli who eats, sleeps, and drinks cricket. Sanju Samson is a great individual. And those I have spoken to people who know him at close quarters from very since his boyhood. He donates for building houses in his village. His life, his outlook towards life is that of a bigger picture. So everything combined, but technical. The crux of the matter is that, according to Zubin Barucha, he doesn't have any technical problem. Now, the final thing, whether he will be given another 2 games. Of course, he will be given another 2 games. Because, see, this is at this moment in time, it is outside noise. People like Krishna Acharya Srikant are saying this, that you cannot drop Ishan Kishan on his YouTube channel. Have you ever heard anyone from the team management, be it Gautam Gambhir, Surya, or Rant and Dashkata, or Morning Mortal, saying that, no, I mean, we are thinking in a different way? It hasn't come to that level at. And I still believe another 2 games and Sanju Samson might get back into the groove. If he doesn't, then you have Ishan Kishan ready, firing on all cylinders as your backup.
Bharat, you weren't kidding when you said that Vizag means dark early, and it's already getting pretty dark in your window. But tell me what the conditions are going to be like. Another high scoring game for Team India. Are you expecting a 300 plus total here?
Yeah, that's the kind of experience I got last time around when I came in Vizag. As per, I think, geography, it will get dark here at 5:48 p.m. So it is now 6:09 p.m. So it's 21 minutes after. Anyway, coming back to the conditions in Vizag, you expect, I think, very good conditions for batting. You generally see high scores. It's not a big ground as well. That is another thing I want to add. It's not at all a big ground. Last time around when I covered this India-South Africa ODI, in the first innings, I think the ball stopped a little bit on the batter. And after that, I think it got better for batting. That was in the second innings. And this is a night game. So it's a night game. You might get a little bit of swing up front. There's a legend going around that as it's a coastal city, you get a little bit of swing up front at around maybe twilight period. That might be a legend. I'm not going to say that is true. But yes, usually expect the conditions to be really good after the first 2-3 overs. Once or twice, maybe Mitchell Stark has done some damage here. I remember a warm-up game when Matt Hendry himself, the wobble seam king, got a few wickets here. So otherwise, I think it should be good for good conditions for batting. Although all eyes would be on Sanju Samson, I don't think he has much of an idea while facing Matt Hendry and his oval seam. I honestly don't think so. So if he has to get through those first 2-3 overs, if he can get through those first 2-3 overs with a new ball against Hendry, then I think he can go big. In that India-England series, it was Jofra Archer's short ball, bowled at his body, tall bowler bowling from a very high release. And here he's getting troubled by that oval seam. So the first 2 overs, is very, very important for Sanju Samson.
Ashok, there's this one comment here which you can take. Nashali is asking, Sanju needs to not get out the way he is. He is looking uncomfortable. Whether he scores big runs or doesn't hardly matters. It only matters whether he's playing with confidence.
Totally. I think I'll just build on what Shamik said a little while earlier. I don't think there is a problem in terms of technique. I think it is right up there in the mind. Perhaps in terms of who is replacing, perhaps in terms of the shuffling that he's had a little bit, and it's to do more with a mindset than really with the technique that he brings. We could go on talking about that particular ball that he got bowled out to in the last match, but I think it is really about the confidence that the team has in him, giving him a few chances and letting him come good. At the end of the day, that's really what matters. So I agree completely. I think it's easy to go in and criticize very quickly in terms of what he needs to do or what he does not need to do. I think he's proven himself beyond doubt, and I think at the level where he is, it's about giving him a few more chances, and once he comes good, then this debate will end then and there.
And I just had a point, just one point about Sanju Samson. See, if you after 55 games, if you average 24, there must be some problem with your batting. Maybe it is mental side of things, maybe it is technical. There are certain players like Travis Head, Abhishek Sharma, maybe Harry Brook. They don't necessarily have great technique, but what they have is great reflexes. You see, they can make it up with the kind of raw materials that they have, these three batters. Not too sure Sanju Samson is at that level. With great respect to him, he's still a good batsman, but it's not at that level, I think, in terms of the kind of reflexes that those three players possess. So maybe he has an issue against short ball because it does pull on the front foot. If you leave alone Rohit Sharma, who's under 6 feet, I don't think there's a single batter under 6 feet who can pull so consistently off the front foot, barring Rohit Sharma. If you look at Shubman Gill, if you look at Mitchell Marsh, some of the very good pullers, all these guys are well over 6 feet. So he tries to pull off the front foot, which I think Jofra Archer took advantage of, a tall bowler bowling from that high release. And as it has already been noted, maybe he has a problem with his downswing. That is basically the bat swing. And maybe against movement, doesn't really struggles a bit to adjust. So I think from Sanju Samson's point of view, he has to get through those first 2 overs. If he gets through those first 2-3 overs, I think he can fire today, but he needs to get through those 2 opening overs of Matt Hendry, I believe.
All right.
In fact,
The other question that
in fact, I could just add to it. I think before the match, I was looking at the records. The issue is exactly what Bharat said at the end, which is that in the last 9 innings, I think he's made it beyond the power play overs only once. And it's a matter of perhaps what Surya did, which is to kind of play himself in, and then he found form the way he has. And perhaps it's really about that at this point of time, and India has the luxury of allowing him that freedom and the bandwidth to settle down. And once he does that, I think there should be no looking back.
All right. Shomik, here's a question that is directed towards you. Let's see. Freaking Awesome is saying, another high-scoring venue. When everything favors the batters, Shomik sir loves it. But he doesn't like pitches favoring the bowlers more. But there are not many bowler-friendly wickets anymore.
No, this format of cricket is for the batsmen. This is not for the bowlers. If you want to see an even contest between bat and ball, go and watch Test cricket. That is the purest format of the game, and there you will get all the purity. This is T20 cricket is entertainment. Don't try to go deep into it. T20 cricket is about slam bang hitting. T20 cricket is about 100-meter sixes, stuff like that, and they have these days they tag those sixes with the name of the sponsors. Yes, Bank Maximum, stuff like that. So they want to. The commentators want to add spice to that even. So this is not. This is absolutely for the. This is absolutely a batsman's game, T20 cricket. And see, and one more thing, just I'm digressing a bit of a question. See, regarding Sanju Samson, one more thing. See, just 3 matches ago against the final T20I against South Africa, he batted beautifully, 30 odd he scored, and he outscored Abhishek Sharma during that 67 or 57 run partnership. So he cannot become a bad batsman overnight. Just 3 games down the line. And this morning, even funnily, I was talking with when I was having a conversation with Zubin Barucha. I mean, he was citing example of his century in South Africa on that Spices pitch, and Marco Jensen 6'9" or 6'7", Gerald Corze, and the second highest score was something like 30 odd. Abhishek Sharma was hit flush on the head, but Sanju looked very comfortable. So it is about. I will go by what Morne Mortal said at yesterday's press conference. That form is temporary, class is permanent. I still back Sanju Samson to come good. And if it does that, it will augur superbly for the Indian team. Because when you have that combination that gelled so well for a period of 12, 13 months, you don't want to change that combination going into a World Cup.
Bharat, there's a school of thought that says T20 is a game of form. You need to utilize players when they are at their peak, someone like an Ishan Kishan, for example. Now, what happens if India does stick with Sanju Samson? Tilak Varma will be back for the T20 World Cup. How do you think this plays out?
The Sanju Samson, I believe, should be given these two chances, these 2 matches. I think Indian management will do that just to see what he can offer. But if he fails in these 2 matches, maybe if he fails in one more game in the World Cup, then I think the guess they have to look beyond him. Maybe it is Ishan Kishan or whoever it is, but then they have to look beyond him because they have given him 55 whatever matches, and he averages 24 over that. And when you average 24 over a period of time, then there must be an issue or two. But having said that, they definitely should give these 2 matches to Sanju Samson, and I think they would. If you ask me, I think Ishan Kishan is in the form of his life. I watched him in Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy as well. He's someone I think he's improved his batting, so I have to give a lot of credit to Ishan Kishan because 10 years ago when I watched Ishan Kishan in the Under 19 World Cup, he looked like the lesser version of Rishabh Pant. Now see where is Ishan Kishan in terms of limited overs cricket? He's gone to another level. I think he's improved on his pull stroke. One, he's improved on his offside game. If you notice Rishabh Pant's offside game, there are still whispers around that is perhaps when the field is very much spread, not thinking about test cricket. When the field is very much spread, he perhaps can't hit through. But Ishan Kishan's offside game has also improved. So he's definitely improved from those days when he looked like the lesser version of Rishabh Pant. So if you ask me, I think he's very much ready to take over the top order slot. But it would be injustice to Sanju Samson if he's dropped in this game or next game. I don't think they would. They have to give him 2, 3 more chances just to see what he offers. If he succeeds, well and good for the Indian team. That's great for Sanju Samson. That's great for everyone. But if Sanju Samson fails in those 2, 3 games, then they have to look beyond him.
Okay. Bharat, someone is saying, please be careful, mosquitoes will bite. So,
Yeah, mosquitoes are around. I'm just looking out for it.
all
Just to
right.
see if I can kill a few mosquitoes as well.
Ashok, there's something that Viraj More is saying. I hope we move on from classes permanent to classes consistent. What are your thoughts about this?
Class is always consistent. I mean, that's the point about class. There is no debating that actually. I think what you're really trying to say is that form is temporary while class is permanent. There is, I mean, if you just step back from this for a moment and look at where India is at this point of time, the T20 series versus New Zealand is firmly in India's pocket. There is no debate about that. But the question in a positive kind of a way is what else does India pack ahead of the T20 World Cup series? So if you were to metaphorically think about it as packing for that journey, what else does India need to pack? Does India need to get every single batsman in form and firing away on all cylinders? Does India want all the bowlers to be up and running in the same kind of condition? There will be some variances. It's really about giving it a little bit of a rope. Like Bharat said, the next two matches, maybe initial couple of matches in the World Cup, and then see what needs to be done. It's a very positive situation where the debate really is about, do you kind of tweak the winning combination that you have currently, or do you continue to do experiments? And there are two schools of thought on this. You could figure out what needs to be done. I think we all acknowledge that there is a form issue, but I don't think there is a class issue, and it's a question of how soon that form will come back.
I also think in modern era of cricket, it's also not a form issue. It's a run issue. Runs are not coming. We've seen this happen multiple times. We've seen this with Virat Kohli back in Australia. We saw this with Shubman Gill. We saw this with Surya Kumar Yadav in the Asia Cup. They are all batting perfectly. If you look at them practice in the nets, there doesn't seem to be a technical flaw. The only problem is the runs are not coming. And I think there has to be a bigger research into what really goes on when something like this happens. Of course, we as reporters will continuously keep trying to understand what happens as the game evolves. Yes, Shomik.
Good point, Gargi. Very good point. I mean, I'll pick it up in the sense that see, even just 2 matches ago, people were saying that Surya Kumar Yadav was out of form. All along, Surya has been maintaining that I'm not out of form, but I'm out of runs. There are two different things, because he has been batting very well. He has been batting very well at the nets. So now, is anyone saying that Surya is out of form? No one is saying, right? So Surya, and you have to keep in mind that it is a very fickle format, T20 cricket, and India play high risk cricket. So it can happen. Even in the first game, if you, in this series, Ishan Kishan got out for 8, but the 2 hits he saw, a couple of fours he had, and the way he was hitting the ball, no, everybody knew that this guy was in great form. He got out. He got out trying to manufacture a shot. But it can happen in T20 cricket. So another thing very interesting that Ashok mentioned, and I want to take the tail end of it, about experimenting. And I personally would like to see today Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan opening the innings, because Abhishek Sharma. Abhishek Sharma has nothing more to prove. He is one of the first names on the team sheet. So there is no point. If you are going to play Ishan Kishan at the World Cup, then that would be as an opener, because once Tilak Verma comes back, Tilak Verma is your designated number 3, and he will take the role. He will take that position at number 3. He is number 3. Surya Kumar Yadav is number 4. Those are the fixed positions. So if Ishan Kishan is playing at the World Cup, that would be at the top, pairing with Abhishek Sharma. You don't need to see. We all know what Abhishek Sharma can do, and he is going to be one of the first names on the team sheet. So pair up Sanju Samson, because he deserves to play, and he will be given game time. He will be given another. Pair up Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan at the top, because these two are dead rubbers. This is your opportunity to experiment, like I would like to see. And I think very, very likely Jasprit Bumrah will not play today. There is no point playing Jasprit Bumrah. His next game should be the World Cup opener against the US.
What are your thoughts about this? I think these are... Yes, Ashok. Go ahead.
I agree. In fact, if you were to, look at personally, what are the 3 experiments that I would still like to have in this match or the next one? One is Bumrah perhaps should, be rested, and Arshdeep should get a chance in. I think if you go back and look at that last T20 that India played versus Australia at Vizag, I think both Khalil Ahmed and Mitchell Starc bowled extremely well. For the left-arm seamer, I think there is something in that pitch. So, from a larger perspective of the World Cup, that would be a good move to do. Second, as Shomik said, maybe Abhishek Sharma should take a break. And, I didn't think of the combination of Ishan Kishan and Sanju Samson, but that could be a potent combination. And the third experiment could be that Rinku Singh could go in at number 4 and give him some time out in the middle. These would be the 3 experiments I would still do. Each one comes at it from a school of experimentation. There is also a different school of thought which says, no, don't disturb the winning combination. But that's where I think you'll need to take a call.
Bharat, what are your thoughts when it comes to these experimentations? Anything you're expecting to see tonight?
Yeah, they can rest Bumrah, but there's another way to look at it. There are some great bowlers that I've read about. They have all sometimes I've interviewed. They would tell you that if you are in form, you wouldn't want to lose your form. So you would want to keep playing. You want to keep taking wickets because you never know when you will get rusty by not playing, and you might end up losing form. That's other way to look at it. I'm not saying that's the right way. Maybe for certain players, someone like Jasprit Umrah or a Pat Cummins or Jimmy Anderson in Test cricket or Dale Steyn, even if they don't play for a week or two, maybe it's fine for them. They can come back. They have that kind of muscle memory after having played so many Test matches, so many internationals. It might be easier for them, but there could be other players who might just say that I might lose form by not playing. So when you're taking wickets, when you're scoring runs, you would want to keep playing. And if I'm Abhishek Sharma, I would be thinking on those lines by telling that, see, I am scoring a lot of runs. I believe that I'm in some kind of a zone of my own, and I would want to continue with this kind of a form. By not playing, I may lose my form. So that is just another point of view to look at.
Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at some of the comments in our chat box. This is where Joss Inglis has hit a ton against India in 2023. Sayyid Nizamuddin is saying India send a strong message to other teams that we play like this and we are ready for the World Cup. All right, think they're already doing it. Think they walk in as favorites. What is this? Bharat use what Kachu chap coil to keep mosquitoes away. What's that? I've never heard of this.
Yeah,
Kachua
few
chap.
mosquitoes are already biting me, so maybe I have to use something.
It is Kachua chap.
Oh, Kachua chap.
Maybe I have to
I
use something.
I have not used this ever. If Ishan does well again, then he should play in the World Cup on current form basis. I mean, we've been discussing this for a little bit, but Shomik, if I had to ask you one last time, if Ishan Kishan continues like this in the next two matches as well, what happens?
This is a hypothetical question, Gargi. If Ishan Kishan, and we all want Ishan Kishan to continue like this, at the same time, if Sanju Samson regains his mojo and scores, plays a couple of impact knocks in this game and the final game of the series, then my counter question to that viewer is, what will you do? Will you still go with Ishan Kishan, or it should be Sanju Samson? What do you think? See, at the end of the day, Sanju Samson is your first choice opener along with Abhishek Sharma. That has been clearly spelled out by Mr. Ajit Agarkar at the team selection press conference. And Ishan Kishan is there at the backup. It is like if someone is completely losing his form or he is out injured, then Ishan Kishan comes into the equation. So, and World Cup is, I would like to see, because even not only for Ishan Kishan, for Abhishek Sharma also, I would like to see Lockie Ferguson playing at least one of these two games, because none of them have yet faced fast bowlers who bowl in the range of 90 miles per hour or above. So I'm not saying they would fail, but it would be an interesting battle. Both for Abhishek Sharma, see, Abhishek Sharma will murder 130 kilometers per hour dibbly dobblies or 135 kph. Same with Ishan Kishan. Once it is past 142, 145, then the degree of difficulty increases. Not for once am I saying that they would fail, but it would be an interesting battle. And that is the reason why before you want all the boxes to be ticked going into the World Cup. And that is why I want Lockie Ferguson playing at least one of these games.
All right, Bharat, we're only 2 minutes away from the toss. Are you seeing any chances of Shreyas Iyer finding his place in the 11?
I don't think so, but he had a lengthy net yesterday. I don't know whether is there any uh, pointer about Sai Sire having that kind of a lengthy net yesterday. Maybe they're thinking of giving him one game, maybe in the last one, but I'm not very sure they will give him a game in this match. But having said that, he had a lengthy net. Just to add a point about Abhishek Sharma, see, this is just a general point. Saw it at the MCG on a tricky wicket where there was a little bit of spice, where there was movement, where there was bounce. Hazelwood was bowling like a man on a mission, and it was Abhishek Sharma who scored 65 35 balls. I think he's one of those batters who has those great raw materials, and he's someone I think on his day he can overcome any kind of fast bowler, any kind of pace or hard
Surya
length.
has won the toss.
So
Surya has won the toss.
he's someone I think he can. On his day, I don't think anyone really matters in this format for Abhishek Sharma.
All right. So India has won the toss and have opted to bowl first.
Yeah,
So
they will
lovely.
always be.
They will always opt to bowl first, but what I'm more concerned about is the fact that leading up to the World Cup, India is winning all the tosses, which means that during the World Cup, the averages will average themselves out and India will start losing the tosses there as well. But waiting for the Team 11 now, let's see if there is any semblance of experimentation. There is a
By
super
by
chat.
by the time, yeah, you please take the super chat. After that, I have a question.
Okay. Ishmeet Singh is saying invested 10 years in Sanju but no result. Flop show. Harsh words. Harsh words. He's given you results many, many times. But yes, Shamik.
Uh, just Ashok, I have a question for you. We know, I mean, on the face of it, this Indian team looks unbeatable. But any chance do you have any premonition that going into the World Cup towards the back end, I'm not talking about the group league matches, but towards the back end, the law of averages might catch up? Because Rahul Dravid yesterday attended a book release program, a book release from my friend R. Kaushik, and he was there. And Rahul Dravid said, "Never forget the final of the 2023 World Cup. Everybody expected us to win, and that it is about that one game." Do you have any kind of premonition? All both you, Ashok and Gargi.
One
So,
second.
Samit,
Before you answer, Ashok, I have the team sheet. We have Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Surya Kumar Yadav, Rinku Singh at number 4, Hardik Pandya, Shivam Dubey, Harshit Rana, Ravi Bishnoi, Kuldeep Yadav, Arshdeep Singh, and Jasprit Bumrah. So no Shreyas Iyer. Go ahead.
yeah. So see, the Rinku Singh experiment is what I'd called out, and I think that will be an interesting move. Perhaps it's just a way of giving some time out in the middle. Both Hardik and he have actually been sitting back. But Shamik, interesting question that you ask. I as a person don't believe in these premonitions. But what I do believe is in throwing it back to you. Some time ago you said that the T20 format is a very fickle format, right? And it has its own way of catching up. So look, I believe in the philosophy that you've got to use your practice sessions to build the right kind of combination, build the right kind of team, get all your players time out in the middle, and get a winning combination cracking, right? After that, there isn't much that you can do, in the when it comes to the knockout stage, when it comes to the final stage. It is a fickle format, but on that particular day, we've always maintained that a couple of overs could swing the destiny of any team, of the best team that is there. The way I see it, and we should look at the team composition for New Zealand. If you were New Zealand in this situation, what would you do? You would say, okay, now I'm going to be batting first. I should aim to get a 300 run kind of a score on the board. I should build batting depth maybe up to number 8, given the way India is batting. And therefore, I would look at the players who are coming back, after their various commitments in the other contracts that they have, in the variable contracts that they have. So, for example, I don't know if Finn Allen is playing. Finn Allen, Jimmy Neesham, for example, are two combinations I would look at. Interestingly, Finn Allen is an interesting opener. He holds the record for the maximum number of sixes at that position in a T20 format, 16 sixes against Abhishek Sharma's 13. So it's a question of, New Zealand still kind of putting together their best possible 11. Now, I would reckon that there would be at least 3 such teams doing still work in progress, while India may be 99% there. Now, the question is, which is better? Going in 100% ready and then, saying, okay, on a given day, 2 overs can change the fortunes, or saying that I will work in progress, sharpen it till I am perfectly ready and I peak at the right time. And that is the fine, delicate balance. So I don't think any amount of premonition works. My sense is that on paper, India is looking the strongest side. On paper and in practice, India is playing a brand of cricket which is structured, fearless. Nothing more needs to be done. Maybe a little minor tweaks. There's nothing more that you can do beyond this.
Until yesterday, I was looking at this World Cup from India's perspective that it is an open and shut case. It will sort of have India are going. The gap is so big between India and the other teams. But when it came from Rahul Dravid, suddenly there is a bit of a doubt because it came from Rahul Dravid. If it were from someone else, I wouldn't have given it a thought. But it is Rahul Dravid saying this, and that is why there is a bit of a doubt that that one game. We saw that at the 2023 World Cup final. That one game. You never know. You never know. What do you think, Gargi?
Can you please repeat the question?
The same thing. I mean, that one game that Rahul was speaking about yesterday, and it came from Rahul Dravid. If it were from anyone else, I wouldn't have given it a thought. But as because it came from Rahul Dravid, so it is there that doubt. Suddenly, there is a bit of doubt. Rahul is saying that don't think that India have won the World Cup. They are a great team
Exactly.
going there. They are the strong favorites to retain the crown. But it could be that one game like the 2023 final. What is your thought?
Exactly. And that is one game that has traumatized an entire nation. We keep looking back on that 10 games on the trot, you have gone unbeaten, and it is the law of averages. And I always say this, look, you can go into the team as you can go into any tournament as favorites, but at the end of the day it comes down to who handles pressure better. You can have better skill sets, you can have better strategies, you can have better technicalities, but if your players who are out there representing the team cannot handle pressure, are not able to absorb the pressure, then it goes haywire. I think at that point in that 2023 game, it was Australia who I think India also played good cricket, but at the same time, it was Australia who was able to, with that champion mindset, was able to absorb the pressure better. They had nothing to lose. Look, India, can you imagine the kind of pressure that was on Rohit Sharma, that was on Virat Kohli, home World Cup? They're playing in front of a packed stadium filled with an Indian crowd. They know that this is, if they had won, I think they would have called it quits on their career. They would have hanged up their boots, would have gone out on a high. But because they lost it, that dream still continues. But there was so much pressure on the Indian team. On the other hand, Australia went back, and I think there were videos from the airport where no one came to receive them. Versus when India won the T20 World Cup, the kind of reception that they got in India after coming back from the Caribbean, I mean, that tells you how much responsibility is on these players, and that changes everything. That pressure changes everything. It has nothing to do with skill set. I think it's the pressure. But was that the answer you were looking for? If not, we can discuss later, because for now we have to close the show. Thank you
No,
so much.
Gargi, for your generation, that 2023 World Cup will always be there. For our generation, when we were in school, that 1987 World Cup semi-final at Wankhede, India lost to England. And then when we are just out of college and into the university, 1996 World Cup semi-final at Eden Gardens. You remember, Ashok, obviously, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even there, but I'm sure Ashok remembers. But
Before signing off, we need to have a prediction of this game from Gargi in fraction.
my goodness, okay. It's 70-30. So if I were to put those in fraction, 65.5. No, wait. 85.5 in favor of India and 15.5 in favor of New Zealand. Did I do the math right?
What did you say? 65.5 and?
No. 85.5.
Huh? And you
then
said 15.5, right? Once again, this is peak Gargison. Yes, you did it. You did it. 85.5, 15.5. You did it. Big Gargism. So on that note, we can say sayonara.
After this, in every show, all panelists are banned from asking me any math questions. I think we need to get a contract signed from here on. But thank you so much, Ashok and Shamik, for joining. And to Bharat as well, he had to go early because he has to walk quite far back to the stadium. But we'll be back at the end of the game. Don't forget to join us then.